now.
Hey, this is Team Sunshine here with Zeke, Tamias, Corum,
Hey,
Nick, and Alex.
A
You want to lead us off then, Corum?
yeah, let's go ahead. Oh, okay, so a couple more team leagues happened. This is weird though. We've had only two teams top in Belgium.
There's a simple explanation for this.
Well,
I,
we don't know the cause yet, but we're
Well,
speculating right now what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
speculating it's DQs all
Yeah.
around.
no, I want to congratulate the first place team for getting first place, and I congratulate the last place team for getting second place.
They're not technically last place.
They had like the largest turnout of any team league, didn't they?
Yeah, didn't they? Was that the venue that was canceled originally, and then they decided to redo it?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that though.
I'm not exactly certain either. Um, but let's give a quick rundown of the clans real quick. Zeke, did you want to go ahead and do it?
I don't have the list, so it's gonna have to be you.
Me?
Yeah, you'll have to do it. I have no list for that
Why do you have no list? Okay, that's fine.
because I didn't open it or I closed it, not thinking I would have to talk about
All
it.
right, all right, that's fine. I can do that. I can do that. Okay. So we got for the championship team. Play seat A. We have Gear, Chronicle, Chronojet, typical. We have for seat B. We have Royals, Thing Blaster build, or Thing, and it has one outlaw in it. I should mention. So total 6 grade 3s. We've been seeing this a lot in the meta with the new support. And then we have seat C as Angels. And then for the first runner-up or second place team, we have player A as Sanctuary Guard build with the blaster support in it. We have seat B as Angels again, and then we have seat C as Tachis. So, like in our previous video where we mentioned how the meta was expanding, we're seeing a lot more Angel players top, and Tachikaze is still strong. So,
Tachis are pretty strong, it seems
Yeah.
like.
I'm just surprised by the sheer amount of Angels. There's like both teams had it.
They just don't die.
I just think I think people still don't know how to counter Angels. So,
Do you like math?
Oh my god. The math is horrible, people.
Do you like playing best of one rounds instead of best of three?
Oh gosh.
Going to time every game.
hey Alex, Alex,
Yeah?
remember when you were playing Angels and the judge called you out for using counters?
Yeah, it's because it was a level 2 tournament.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use them in level 2 tournaments.
Yeah, apparently you're not allowed to use them. Yeah, it's just then you had to instantly go into, well, how much math do I have to do? And I was just like, I couldn't play that deck right there. That's way too big for me.
Imagine being a judge judging that round because the judges have to keep track of ability and power and all that.
Oh gosh.
And the judge is just like there on his calculator, like I don't even know what I'm doing with my life anymore.
Yeah, by the end, I had like a headache and everything. Like it was
Also, I just want to mention that I think this is the first runner-up team. Their Angels player was just pure Nociel. They had 4 Nociel grade 3s,
That deck is dumb.
and then the
Especially
first
with
place
Mario.
deck, the first place deck ran Gravale and Nociel, so both builds work.
I like the Gravel build better, honestly, with Nociel in it.
yeah, Gabriel with no CL as the backup grade 3.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
It's a bit tankier.
Yeah, he can survive better.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely congrats to both teams. The technical second runner-up team that should have been there. If you got DQ'd,
That
I'm
was
sorry, but not sorry, but you should have probably prepared yourself better.
that was their own fault.
I mean, it's.
Well, we don't know yet.
Not yet.
It could also be they lost the deck list.
Oh yeah, that would be bad because
I
mean, That happens pretty frequently, so
That'd be poor planning on Bushiroad's part.
Uh,
it's poor management at the event. I don't think it's planning in that aspect.
All right. I think that's enough on that topic. Again, congrats to the winners. Looking forward to more Team League tops. So let's move on to something. We're gonna try something a little bit more local based. So on the 23rd, which according to today was about 6 days ago, we had at Pensacola we had a box tournament, and usually we have it's Pensacola, Panama City, and we invited Mobile, but we haven't seen any Mobile people show up yet.
Nope.
And basically, it was something in the works for about a year. We've been constantly having people show up, and the community was originally dead. To date, we've had 22 players compete. We had 24 show up, but 22 actually competed. Our next one's May 14th, and I just think it's a great way just to see how we took a gamble trying to get it going again, and it flourished. Like, it's still growing to this day.
Yeah, more and more people are coming back from not playing to play again.
Which is really good.
Not to mention it's kind of fair over here as far as prize support and pricing to enter. And we have both meta players and we have casual players, and both do well in the tournament.
And also best 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the meat of this, where it's just basically we'll tell you what got in top 8, and it's kind of it's good speculation for, I'd say, the meta over here. So cut top 8 is, we had Shadow Paladin Revengers played by yours truly, me. I ran Mordred Abyss. Then we had Chaos Breaker, which Nick played.
Magic Harps.
Yeah, the Magic Harp person here. Hey Nick, how did you like that triple crit?
So good.
Then we had one of our friends, Ryan. He played Aquaforce Blue Wave. Then we had Thing Blaster by Gary. And then Zeke here ran Sanctuary Blaster.
Oh boy.
Then we had Daniel, who ran Tachikaze, the new Engorge stuff. We had one of our newer players, Andrea. She played Genesis Regalia, so she was running.
I actually played against her. She was really good.
Yeah, I think she ran Angelica.
The Break Right build?
No, she ran CEO, Yggdrasil, and
I
Minerva.
saw one Angelica. I could
Yeah, it's a one-off.
Yes.
It's a one-off.
I think just the tech in that cross ride, which was really cool. And then we had another new player, Lawrence. He played Gear Chronicle. So it's a nice spread. Usually our tournaments take too long, so we don't have an accurate of like what actually topped as far as like, oh yeah, this deck is definitely the winner when it comes to everything. So
Usually split top 8 or top 4.
But if you take a look from what Quorum just said, there's diversity.
yeah,
which
that's
you
what I like
constantly
about it.
keep seeing everywhere.
It's a diversity of everything that's currently topping in the meta, except for Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis was the odd one out. But we did have Tamias here, which he did play G Pale Moon for the first time, I think. You got your cards in finally. Did you have
Finally.
fun with it?
Huh? Oh, I had fun with it.
We also had Connor, which he isn't here. He said he would try and make it, but he's not here. But he played Angels. Hey, Tamias, how was that first round only game?
That was annoying. He wouldn't die. He triple healed. He healed 3 times at a death range. 3.
Trust me, I've beaten Chaos Breaker before. Nick's Chaos Breaker deck with the Angel Feather deck healed every single time.
Oh,
It's really tanky.
he doesn't die.
It's okay. I got my revenge.
Oh,
So, as some of you might know, why are we reporting this? I feel like it's you don't hear a lot about locals too often. You may hear about locals too often, or you might hear about your locals, but sometimes you want to know what's going on in other places. Like down here in Florida, you may be in New York, or you might be in the Midwest, and you're kind of like, well, I wonder what's topping over there. So if you guys like that, let us know. Other than that, this is more of a shout out. So like, we're trying to grow our community. If you're nearby in Alabama or Georgia, and you're within range of Pensacola, we would love to have you guys come down and meet us and play against us.
yeah, definitely.
Also, when the computer gods don't hate me, we can talk about national results.
Yeah. And this is another way to show that your locals can be just as meta-intensive as a regional event, because that's pretty much how we all prepared for Atlanta. We were playing against meta decks. We were going to Pensacola from time to time to prepare ourselves. So when we got to actually play against players there with actual built decks, we were used to it by then. There was no surprises for us.
I mean, there was probably like a few surprises here and there, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Our CC player was pretty surprised when he played D-Robos 4 times in a row.
That was still crazy.
I think that's it on this topic, unless anyone else has any last things to throw in.
Not really.
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Okay, let's move on to our next discussion topic. So, Zeke, did you want to handle this one? I don't want to talk too much.
Competitive versus casual.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So, one of the things that's talked a lot about in the community in general is competitive versus casual play. People wanting to play budget competitive, or people just wanting to play for fun. And you don't necessarily have to play competitively if you don't want to, but it doesn't mean it isn't fun or those people are just tryhards. Also, it means that if you're playing competitive, it doesn't mean you should necessarily stop playing casually, because that's a lot of where your good playtesting and theory crafting and deck building comes from.
Mm-hmm. So basically what we wanted to touch on is not so much the huge differences, but how they can kind of be similar, because like I started out as a casual player myself. I was just going to local tournaments. My sister got me into the game when it came out. It was about a couple months after it released here. She had a built Shadow Paladin deck. It was the original Blaster Dark and the Phantom Blaster Overlord, and she built a conglomeration of just darker regulars, and I fell in love with the clan. That was the first time I played. I didn't start getting competitive personally until about it's when I met Nick and Zeke and Alex and everybody. We started this idea of let's take it a step further. Let's try and go to ARG or go to the regional and win. And
I kind of started pushing us going to ARGs and stuff.
yeah, I think it's like we knew we had the talent, we had the money, and we had the drive to do it.
I literally joined in and I was like, I want to play this competitively. I don't care about anything else.
Like, I never played any game competitively until I got into Vanguard. I basically, like, I played with nobody except my little brother back then. And now, ever since I got older, I have the money, I'm able to do something competitively. And I'm glad that I'm into this game now.
And then I kind of wrapped you into this, right, Tomias, when I met you at University of West Florida?
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, prior to that, I had played Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, but then Yu-Gi-Oh! Just went downhill.
Yeah.
Went downhill from there, and
Free Stratus.
no. Vanguard, and been having a lot of fun since.
We don't talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! On this thing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a sin.
No.
So,
Just like this is a sin.
So you can be competitive. It just means that you're taking it a step higher. There's nothing wrong with casual play. Casual play means you enjoy the game, but you're not dropping $500 to build the current deck that's winning or the current deck that's doing well. Sorry,
I was going to say, even necessarily if you're playing casually, you also probably don't have to drop the $500 because you might play a clan, and this game supports like clan favoritization and like sticking with something for a long time. So even if you play like 3 or 4 of your favorite clans, one of them can all of a sudden be meta, and you might have the pieces to build it.
Right, Nick? Like Grand Blue?
For example, my mega colonies.
They still got work to do. I was referring more to Grand Blue and how they're doing well right now.
Oh, yeah, it's a great ride.
Like, I specifically built things that I knew did well or topped well or did well in the past just because I wanted to have those decks and have those clans on the back burner just in case. I think DP is the only clan I play like as my fun deck.
Yeah, like again, my fun deck's Dark Irregulars, but I've transitioned to playing Shadow Paladins when it comes to actual tournaments or Saint Guard. It really depends on what the team lineup is.
Yeah. Am I like one of the jankiest players?
You play Angels, so.
Well, yeah, no, well, Well, Angels, I really don't have the money to buy for and everything because CLs are freaking like $30 to $40 a
I
piece.
tracked down like 2 to 3 of them, dude.
Yeah, but
Anyway, let's not get
I
off
have the deck.
yeah, same here. Well,
So-
yeah, you guys.
Some of you are probably wondering, like, I want to start competitive play. How do I start getting into competitive play? How do I get into that mindset? And I really feel it's a couple of things. I think you need a team. You need a group of friends that can closely say, I want to do this with you. Let's stick together. Let's lean on one another and see how far we can take this. Like,
Having a team makes it easier to acquire higher value cards as well.
Yep.
Like our team trade binder is constantly way overvalue.
mhm. You also have ways to, like, well, I can't drive to ARG all by myself. I'm kind of like 16 years old, and don't put an age limit on competitive play, but I still think you should be able to drive. I would say if you have a part-time job and you're 16, go for it. If you're a bit younger, again, I don't remember what the minimum is in order to have your parental guardian sign on the forums.
I think you have to be 18 to not have to sign it, so I think it's 17 is the lowest age.
Yeah, so just keep in mind your age might be kind of an obstacle when it comes to competitive play, but if you're 18, you're going to college, you have a job, it's no problem. Link up with a group of friends that are definitely all for it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there's resources you need to look up, like, well, I want to know what decks are topping. Well, as English players, we always look to the Japanese meta and what's topping. So
Do your research, people.
you do your research. Like when the Diablo subclan was revealed, I looked at decks that were made. I look at card protagonists. I look at what he built and why he used those cards, and then I'm like, well, I don't like the draws so much in the deck. I'd rather run 4 more crit triggers, and then I play test it, proxy it, and it works.
Mhm.
So
Also, sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say also don't net deck.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Like, just
build-
Build if you play a clan or you want to play a clan, you don't like the way someone built their deck. That's great. You don't have to build that. Like the few choice techs you make are what make the deck personalized and how to play to your strengths and not your weaknesses.
Also,
Like everyone runs draws. None of us run draws except in 3 decks.
yeah. Also, the way that Vanguard flows, like a 1 to 2 card difference makes a huge difference.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I started building Revengers and Harry's deck ended up winning over there at Atlanta, and I was considering how do I want to build Revengers, and I tested Harry's deck. It worked fine for me. There's nothing wrong with net decking, but the thing is, if you feel like it needs a different card or it needs to fit your playstyle in a different way, do it. See if it works.
Another thing to note: make sure that you test the deck. Play against almost every matchup you can, because sometimes if you don't expect the deck, it'll come up, and you won't know what to do at all.
Yeah. If anything, when we have free time, Tomias and I are usually playing in the commons, and he's testing against Blue Sling, he's testing against Shadows, he's testing against Dark Irregulars.
I cry all the time.
When
Yeah.
you have a big enough team of people and you have access to a variety of decks, you can find out what's wrong with it, how to improve it.
Yeah.
Your teammates can give suggestions, stuff like that.
Also, whenever you say prepare for everything, it doesn't mean prepare for literally every deck in the game. If you're playing competitively, you're probably not going to see Murakumo.
It means prepare for trouble and make it double.
It also means you should also prep for things that are popular fan clans like Grand Blue, Pale Moon, Neo Nectar, things like that.
So prepare for 75% of the matches.
Well,
Yep.
it's know your strengths, know what clans you're good against, know what clans you're weak against, and what to look out for.
And to counter them in any way possible.
Well, it's just when you're cautious and you know what you're up against, it takes the stress away from when you're playing it.
Yeah.
Well, also, or at least I want to, since we have the charts and they're just not updated and they're on my corpse of a computer. Once I get those charts back up, we can talk about what to prepare for because I have it all spreadsheeted out. I have the most frequently played clans from every event as well as the clans that are most frequently topping.
Yeah, I guess next
Yeah.
week we'll talk about like what clans are doing.
We'll
what.
talk about meta strategy. Like, here's what to prepare for. Here is what you will probably be playing against.
One last thing on this topic before I believe we'll end the video is just wanted to touch on something. Just because you're a competitive player doesn't mean you're an elitist. You're alienating casual players. There might be things you find weird about casual players, but as a competitive player, I feel like you're a step up. Your step above is a good reason. You're trying to lead by example. That means you're not trying to scare away kids from playing the game. You're not trying to put down people. You're investing more money and time into the game to help grow the game.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
The competitive player, like the way that I feel about it personally, because I'm hyper competitive. I love winning.
It's fun to win.
It is fun to win. The best way that you can describe it is that the competitive player is competitive not because he's a tryhard or because he thinks he's better than other people. The competitive player is competitive because of essentially the spirit of competition. The competitive player wants to play against other people that can beat him, and then the competitive player wants to beat those people.
Yeah.
It's the stride as well as the
thrill of competition.
Yeah. That thrill is what makes a competitive player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just because a competitive player goes in for blood against a casual doesn't mean that he's a tryhard. Now, if he's a douche after it, then he's a tryhard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but if a competitive player looks at someone and says, "I can beat you and I want to beat you," and then after the game's over, he's like, "Good game," that's just because he enjoys the spirit of it.
Yeah.
And don't, like, go around calling everyone a tryhard because of competitive things like that. And not everyone that plays casually is just bad at the game. Some people just choose to play things differently.
And one last thing, I know in some communities are very competitive. They have a lot of meta decks out there to fight against. If you don't have a deck that can face against it as well as some other people do, don't be discouraged. Don't give up on the game. It just means that it's a tough crowd right now.
Build jank against your locals.
Yeah.
Just
Run that grade 1 gold paladin rush deck.
Yeah, just have fun with it. Because believe it or not, if you fight against these really tough decks, you'll eventually learn how to counter them. You'll eventually build something to counter them. And then when you go to a regional for once, and it's like, well, I played this all the time, you're good. So just don't give up on the game. Even if it's like I constantly lose, I don't know why I'm playing, I'm just going to quit. Don't.
I'm like in my locals, I'm 0-4. You know?
There's always next week.
Yeah.
There's always the week after that. And if
Don't
something's,
give up.
just research, talk to people, try to message us. Maybe we'll answer your question if you're having difficulties. Who knows? Just,
yeah, totally.
It just keep looking out for resources, keep on deck building, keep on play testing. The game is fun. I don't want this game to die. I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Thinking I'm never going to join a card game again. Here I am playing this card game right now. So
I quit playing nothing and started playing a Japanese card game because it had robots.
I left Magic to play this game.
Yeah, I played like Yu-Gi-Oh! And several other card games to get over to here.
Man, you guys have all lame reasons. I just wanted to play robots.
I wanted to play demons. I want to play demons. So, any last words from anybody? Anything before we sign off for tonight?
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Comment. We could use comments. We probably went.
Yeah.
We probably went a little too long with the video. We'll try and keep it short next time. But this is Team Sunshine, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.